not use against Richard Allen's credibility the so-called witnesses who allegedly were in the hiking trail area shortly after the girls disappeared and until Richard Allen left the area, as none of these so-called witnesses are mentioned in the probable cause documents with name and time, but only mentioned as a group of unspecified people who are said to have been in the area after the girls disappeared. As long as these witnesses are not specified with identity and time, it can't be used against Richard Allen's credibility that they didn't see him in the area after the girls disappeared, despite the fact that he sat on a bench there for 90 minutes. In social media these witnesses are mentioned by name and time, but much of this has subsequently been shown to be incorrect. For example, the YouTuber Anthony Greeno claimed in his videos before the unsealing of the probable cause documents that the prominent elderly Delphi resident, David McCain, when walking on the trail in the direction of the Monon High Bridge, crossed paths with the bridge guy who was walking in the direction of Freedom Bridge after the girls had been killed. Anthony Greeno said he had run into David McCain in the hiking area with his colleague Michael Stroop, also known as Michael Cat. David McCain had confided to them that he had run into the bridge guy there after the murders. There Anthony took a photograph of David. In the picture David is wearing a flannel shirt and was then nicknamed the flannel shirt guy in social media. I wrote to Michael Stroop in August 2019 to get verified that he and Anthony had met with David McCain and that David had confirmed to him that the bridge guy had walked past him. In his reply to me, Stroop confirmed this and said that the talkative David McCain had come up with many interesting details which Michael Stroop could not go into further details with me as it was confidential information. But years later, when the probable cause documents were made public, this turned out not to be true. David McCain had not witnessed the bridge guy. Anthony Greeno himself has subsequently admitted that the information about this witness episode is incorrect and has asked people to ignore it. Another witness case Anthony Greeno was involved in was the case of the dog-walking lady. The dog-walking lady was considered by several in social media as a very important witness, as it was claimed she had encountered the bridge guy when she was walking her two big dogs and had a longer conversation at 12:30 p.m. with the bridge guy at the southern end of the bridge close to where she lived next to Ronald Logan's farm. This lady, probably in her mid-70s, is said to have confided in Anthony Greeno about her encounter with the bridge guy and told him about her conversation with the man. It is assumed that she is the source of the information that the bridge guy had reddish-brown hair and she was not sure of what color his eyes were, but she was sure that they definitely weren't blue, because in the probable cause documents in the witness statements of the 3 minor girls and the 2 adult ladies Betsy Blair and Sarah Carbaugh there are no such descriptions. It later turned out that the dog-walking lady was a very unreliable witness and she was completely omitted from the probable cause documents. During her conversation with Anthony Greeno, she said that she was terrified of the bridge guy after he had killed the girls and knew where she lived. Anthony said that shortly afterwards the lady had moved from the area and disappeared. Another YouTuber from the area, Randy Gravett, dedicated a video to her in which he portrayed her as a completely unreliable witness, constantly changing her testimony and contradicting herself. Is it conceivable that the dog-walking lady deliberately came up with misleading information to derail and divert the investigators of the Delphi murders? If Ronald Logan assisted in the murders as a member of a ring, she as Logan's neighbor may also have been involved in this ring. Now she has disappeared without a trace and Logan is dead and Keegan Kline is tight-lipped and won't say anything about the murders of Abby and Libby. The couple under the bridge had also got much attention in social media. They were even identified by name and that they weren't supposed to have been together there as they were both engaged with another partner, but after the unsealing of the probable cause affidavit the couple's story was dismissed as a total fabrication. Other YouTubers have also provided incorrect information about people who were said to have been in the area when the girls were killed, therefore it is not possible to use this incorrect information against Richard Allen from social media. Michael Leroy Stroop repeatedly said in his videos that he had been asked for DNA by the police in connection with the murders of Abby and Libby. He believed this confirmed that DNA had been found at the scene of the murders. It is possible that he was required to give DNA because he had several convictions for indecent exposure in public places. James Matthew Tanksley is an additional candidate who could be the bridge guy due to his age, appearance, size, residence and pedophile activity. When Abby and Libby were killed, Tanksley had been free for quite some time after a long prison term for possession and distribution of child pornography as a member of a pedophile ring with international branches. After his release, he may have joined Keegan Kline's pedophile ring and assisted in the murders of Abby and Libby. Here is the account of Tanksley. James Matthew Tanksley, 52 at the time, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of receipt of child pornography and 1 count of possession of child pornography and was sentenced to 80 months in prison on October 6, 2009. Tanksley, a resident of Indianapolis, was also sentenced by U.S. District Court Judge Sarah Evans Barker to lifetime supervised release following completion of his prison term. During the plea and sentencing hearing before Judge Barker, Tanksley admitted to being a member of 2 Internet-based bulletin board groups dedicated to the trading of child pornography. The groups, comprised of members from around the world, could only be accessed using a unique username and password. The groups had very detailed rules for behavior, including requiring all members to post only pornographic images or videos depicting minors under the age of 18. Members were also required to post their images or videos in pre-established categories based on the type of material, such as hardcore videos or individual images of girls aged 0 to 6. Tanksley admitted he was an active participant on both bulletin boards and that his involvement dated from June 2006 to May 2007. Tanksley also admitted that on some occasions he commented on the quality of the child pornography he received from other members, expressed his gratification upon seeing the images or videos and described the sexual acts the children, some younger than approximately 6 years old, and shared with U.S. counterparts by Europol and Interpol. The European portion of this global enforcement effort, Operation Koala, was launched after the discovery of the activities of several people in Europe who were abusing children and producing photographs of the abuse for commercial gain. Further investigation unveiled a number of online child pornography rings. The case was prosecuted by Assistant U.S. Attorney Stephen D. DeBroda of the Southern District of Indiana and trial attorney Alicia Rywarts-Wolak of the Criminal Division's Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section. The investigation was handled by the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, which was assisted by the U.S. Secret Service, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the FBI and the Indiana State Police. James Matthew Tanksley, age 65, blue eyes, brown hair, height 6 feet, weight 190 pounds. Last known address, 5125, West 10th Street, Apartment 2, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46224.